Just set me free, let me loose, and I'll use you as my excuse. I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Just let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom. Let me loose, and I'll use you as my excuse. I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Just let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom.
Man, it feels so good when I come home. Everybody that I love and I hold close. Time passed, but it's like I never dipped out. And you define the people I wanna speak about. Everyday grind, try to catch a break. Stay cool, but knowing they gon' be mistakes. Won't be going nowhere unless you risk take. Stay real, so living will never feel fake. And I know you gon' relate, cause I've walked the path and I've turned to crash. And I've seen the light, I know life is short, so I changed the course and forget the past. I know it's been a long trip, but I'm at the start. Top charts, Benny wanna be a big star. Got my head held high, I'ma live large and stay fly, a birdie, but I'm below par.
Let me loose, and I'll use you as my excuse. I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Just let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom. Let me loose, and I'll use you as my excuse. I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Just let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom.
Hi, welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick, and today I'm presenting the 2017 Mazda CX-3 in the all-wheel drive version with a 150 horsepower engine. This one is the 2-liter version, as I said, producing 150 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and a maximum torque of 204 Newton meters at 2,800 RPM. We sprint from 0 to 100 in 8.7 seconds and top speed is 200 kilometers an hour. The Mazda CX-3 starts in Switzerland at 21,300 Swiss francs for the smaller version. This one, as we have here in the Ambition edition, is 29,650. So let me show you, as usual, the car from the inside, both rows, the boot space, and then we drive. Enjoy! Alright, so the CX-3 from the inside. First thing that I actually encountered when I got into the car is the seat outside's actually very soft when you get in. However, they keep you very well in the position you are while driving. Just one thought when you're getting into the car, just be careful that you don't slide over it too hard. And that, when we are already in with the seats, as I said, it's very comfortable, gives you sufficient side support. Headrest is nice, goes sufficiently high as well. As usual, we go from left to right through the car. So let's start on the door side. We have the electrically heated and adjustable mirrors, plus the foldable function, so you can fold the mirrors electrically while driving as well. Then we have the electric windows with one touch function for the driver's window. However, it's a bit different when you push it down. To stop it, you have to push it up again. I'm used to a little bit different than that, just keep that in mind. Then we have some space in the door to put some smaller bottles, and that's pretty much it. On the left side, we have the traction control off and on, the tire pressure sensor setting, the iStop off. iStop is basically the start-stop automatic, as well as the lane departure on and off. Then we come to the steering wheel. Nice leather-wrapped steering wheel. Good size, not too thick, not too thin. It was very nice to drive. I like the look of it as well, with the V shape here on the bottom. Then we have a little bit of a carbon look, which we have from the doors as well, continuing here, as well as in the center console. On the left side, we have the buttons for the radio, changing the channels, volume, as well as the trip computer. And that gives you information on average fuel consumption, average speed, and so on. Plus the Bluetooth controls. On the right side, we have the control buttons for the cruise control and the speed limiter. This cruise control works nice in 1 km/h steps. However, there is no 5 km or 10 km steps when you push it longer. So you have to do individually. Then the dashboard, we have the central speedo in the middle, plus left and right a digital information display. On the left, you'll find information on the fuel gauge as well as RPM. And on the right, you'll have the info basically on average fuel consumption and so on, that you control the left side here. I found it a little bit difficult to read in bright sunlight. When it basically shines from the back, it's a bit difficult to see. However, you can adjust it here with this little lever to make it brighter or darker. Then we have a push start button, so the key can be in your pocket. You don't have to enter it anywhere. Works pretty good. In the middle, we have the navigation display screen. So the car comes with or without navigation. So in the base model, you have a small display with the radio. From the Ambition, you have this screen, which we have here. And you can get the navigation as well afterwards when you don't tick it, for example, when you order it. However, it's a bit more expensive. The slot for that is down here. Then we have heated seats in 3 settings for driver and passenger, automatic climate control in the middle, and then the CD card slot. On the bottom, the mentioned SD card slot for the navigation, 2 USB ports, aux in, and a 12-volt power socket. Then in the middle, the 6-speed automatic gearbox with the manual function. Towards you, you shift up, away from you, you shift down, plus the sport button or lever. Basically, the only thing that changes, which we'll see later when we drive, is the characteristic of the engine and the gearbox. It revs basically higher and shifts earlier down again, and the car becomes a little bit more sporty. Then on the right side, we have the control knob. So I mentioned this is the touchscreen, however, it's only touchscreen while idle. The moment you start driving, you have to use this control knob on the middle here because the touchscreen is disabled. So we have shortcuts buttons for the navigation, music, and the menu system, plus going back button and the volume button, in addition to the ones on the steering wheel. Then here is a little kind of hill where you can actually rest your palm on it to make it a little bit easier to navigate, because when you're driving, you don't want to look down, so they've done it this way and then you find it easier. Manual handbrake, 2 cup holders, plus a little compartment where you put smaller stuff that is reachable from the back as well. And the glove box is actually decent size. For the size of a car, it's actually quite big, I have to say. Then we have this round control buttons for the air ventilation, plus a little bit in the middle. Looks really nice from design. Material-wise, on top we have hard plastic. However, here we have still the leather that we continue to have from the steering wheel and the shift knob. So this is a really nice touch, and it looks very nice with the stitching. On top we have the mirror for the driver and the passenger. However, they're not illuminated. Then the normal lights for reading, as well as when the doors are open. And the one for people like me who wear glasses. If you have sunglasses and you have to switch, so you have a compartment where you can put them. Manual mirror, and behind here we have the city emergency stop radar system that will basically see if there's any obstacle in front of you and initiate an emergency braking in case it has to. That's pretty much it. Let me show you the second row and then the boot. Alright, so CX-3 from the second row. The seat in the front is adjusted to me. I'm 1.84 meters tall. As you can see, I do touch the back seats, however, there's still some space, and if I sit the normal way, basically, there is no issues whatsoever. What do we have? We have on the left side the carbon look from the front continues here with the electric window. If we press it down, you see unfortunately it doesn't go down all the way, so you have quite a lot of windows still left. To get air it's fine, however to just put your arm out it doesn't work really well. You saw as well we have the tinted windows from the B-pillar onwards around the car. In the door we have some space to put smaller bottles, 0.5 liter, and we can obviously reach as well the one in the front. We have 3 3-point seat belts and 3 headrests, which is good. Space-wise, again, it's nice. It's not too small. I have enough headroom as well to sit, so I would say up to 184, 185 is the max. Then it would be too small. Something to hold on to with a little hook, and some side pocket we only have on the passenger seat. As you can see, the one behind the driver's seat doesn't have that. And for the passenger in the middle, we have quite a huge transmission tunnel, so he or she would have to put the legs left and right. 2 Isofix on the outer seats, and that's pretty much it. Let's check the boot. All right, CX-3 from the back. What do we see? Obviously, it looks very nice with the dark color and the tinted windows. Very sleek, very, well, sporty even. Then again, my favorite, only red and white, no orange. Finally, most manufacturers realized this. This looks much better this way. Then you see we have the bumper on the right side as well. It goes all around the car as a protection. This is an all-wheel drive, as I mentioned. And obviously this is good in case you do a little bit off-roading, you get stuck somewhere and you damage that part. It's cheaper to fix than if you have something painted. Then CX-3 AWD, all-wheel drive, Skyactive technology on the right side. We have 2 exhaust pipes left and right, and that's pretty much it. So let's open. And once it opens, you see, actually this is something positive and negative at the same time, so it depends on who you are and what you do. The boot loading height is very high. However, we have 2 floors, or we have a second floor here, which you can fold down and have some compartment below here to put smaller items. And you have the one on the top. It's not flat, it's a little bit of a step down. However, if you have, for example, a shopping trolley and you just lift it out and put it in, it's perfect because you don't have to go down very much. We have a light on the right side which you can turn on and off, and that's pretty much it. So let me close it. Let's drive. Okay, so as you see, we drive already. Let me take the car on the road for you. I mean, we are on the road further, and give you my thoughts on it. First of all, I found it comfortable to drive. I like the position that you're not very elevated, but you're a little bit elevated. You have a good surround view. Mirrors are actually quite big. The one to the back. This one is a manual mirror, so it doesn't dim in the evening, so you have to still do it the manual way. However, I like the way it drove. It doesn't have much body movement when you're actually going a little bit faster through the corners. We're gonna go the route towards Thun, and apropos Thun, thank you much Auto-Bettschen who provided this car to me. Start stop, you can hear, and they are located actually in Thun. So if you want to have more information on the car, just head to the link below or click the link below. It will get you directly to the website of Auto-Bettschen, and there you can go to basically Mazda. Okay, cruise control, we set it to 50, and actually we were a bit higher. You saw just here on the screen that it turned yellow, which indicates that you're actually over the limit, but I think by 3 kilometers an hour it starts or something like that. However, it doesn't give you an acoustic warning, just a visual warning. And this is not sign recognition, so it doesn't have a camera to recognize signs. This is from the GPS itself. So whatever map version we have here, this is what it is. In case it changes, it will not recognize it. So now we can go a bit faster. You can hear the engine. Here we go, 80. 6-speed automatic, as I mentioned, with a manual function, which you have here. In the higher spec version, you have as well the pedal shifts for the automatic. In this one, in the Ambition, we do not have that. You have to do it over the shift knob. So now we have again 60. And it's comfortable, it's really comfortable to drive. The elevation or the difference between the Mazda 2 and the CX-3, the height, this is what makes actually more comfort. So we have a little bit bumps here, not too even surface on the road, but it just glides over it, smooths it out. Has a nice pickup, as I said, 150 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, but what's more important is the torque, as usual. I mentioned it, let me just put this one here. 204 Newton meters at 2,800 RPM. The combination of the engine with the automatic works very good, it's very smooth, and you don't really feel that it's shifting. It's not a dual clutch gearbox, it's a normal automatic gearbox, but it's very, very comfortable to drive. Seating position is nice. Obviously I can adjust the driver's seat in height, I can adjust the steering wheel in all directions, as I showed you already. And it's very responsive. If you look at it, I just do it and it goes directly into that way, which is nice. So now we're gonna go on a little bit of mountain road, which is down the coast of the Thunersee. Lakeshore, that's what it's called, Lakeshore. Okay. And I found it really comfortable to drive. It's enough space. I feel good in it. It's enough space for 4 adults, as you've seen as well. The middle seat in the back could be a bit too small for a full-size adult. However, I guess a child would be fine, or for short distance would be okay. However, I mean, if you look at someone like me, I'm pretty big, pretty heavy. 3 people like me in the back would not be a good idea, I think. What I mentioned as well is now the clouds are out there, it's not very bright, Instrument cluster is super easy to see, especially the digital displays on the left and right. However, when it's very bright outside, it's a bit difficult to see. Let's continue driving through the roads. We have some construction site here, so I'll show you. Well, no, we have green at the moment. This car has a start-stop automatic, which is called iStop, and it shows over that display over here. If you go here, obviously it's a German Verbrauchsanzeige, fuel consumption. So you have IE loop, which is actually a brake regeneration system that gets the energy from the recuperation not into the engine, because it doesn't have an electric engine, obviously. It's not a hybrid. However, it feeds the consumption of some of the electric devices on board. So, for example, battery is recharged, the air condition is a bit supported, and a few other electric devices here. So then we can switch to the other one, which is the iStop on. Now it shows you 70% iStop on, so we were idle for 10 seconds, and out of this 10 seconds the engine turned off for 7 seconds. And since the whole thing, we drove 0.9 kilometers with the iStop. Not quite sure how this actually tells me, what this tells me, because obviously when I'm standing, I'm not driving, so I don't know what the 0.9 kilometers maybe is. Additional 0.9 kilometers I'm able to drive with the fuel I saved while standing. But this is not for this 10 seconds, this is for the entire period the car was driving, so we have 558 kilometers. And then it gives you some indication on how many trees you're saving. Not quite sure how much you have to do that to save this many trees, or one tree. It will be obviously working in the city more than it does here in this region. This is the Berner Oberland, in Interlaken and Thun, so we don't have much traffic really here, or traffic lights. Maybe in Thun there is a little bit, but on roads like this obviously you're not idle, you're not stopping. We have full LED headlights with the daylight LEDs. Very bright, very nice, very responsive, and you see how quickly they pick up when we drive into the tunnel. And now here it's dripping water. Fuel consumption, I had, as I mentioned, 6.6 to 7.6 on average. 6.6 most on the highway, 7.6 with roads like this and a little bit of city traffic. The average is 8.6 on this 559 kilometers because the car is brand new, it's not broken in, and obviously the first people who drive it usually don't drive it very fuel cautious. So I reckon you will average around 7.5 liters, which is realistic. Let me go to the other information. One thing that I didn't like is that you have always to go into the menu, open this one, go to the right, and then again this one, then put it down. It should be easier, just one button, or scroll with this one through, you know. It's a little bit difficult. Not difficult, but cumbersome. Yeah. So now you see we started driving 9 minutes ago, you see the average consumption. However, it says 15 is the top, 0 is obviously the bottom, and then you have 3 levels in between, so it's not 5, 10, 15, 20, it's like 15.5, 7.5 and 3.75. Bit difficult to see. Would be nice if they would have indicate this with the actual number, but it basically averages it out and it shows you on this display here 8.2. Now 8.6 on the bottom is the whole consumption, right, for this display. I was not able to reset that to have basically the total consumption. Therefore I mentioned 6.6 to 7.6. Again, the touchscreen doesn't work while driving, you have to use the knob here. And I'm missing a headrest, an armrest, which would have been nice as well. Headrest is comfortable. As I mentioned, the driving position is nice. How it drives on the road, how it grips with the all-wheel drive is good as well. Let me see if I can put it in sport now. Okay, now we're able to put it in sport. Means when the car is not yet warmed up, the car will prevent you to put it in sport and obviously cause any damage, which is a nice thing, which is good. And you can see right away, now we are in third. When I take sport out and I go in manual, we are in fourth. So it is a difference in gears. Again, look how quick the light picks up. It's really good. This is why I prefer LED lights over xenon and over halogen. I am a big... how can I say that? I do not like cars with halogen lights. If there's an option for xenon or LED, you have to get that. It's for your own safety. When you drive in the night in a very dark road which is not illuminated, like here, mountain roads, it can save your life, because here we have animals crossing the streets from time to time, and if you see that obstacle, animal, car, whatever, something that's on the road earlier, it can save your life. So I always recommend you choose xenon. If available, LED, take the LED lights. Okay, so we are in comfort, it's fine. Because we have too much traffic, I'm not able to show you. But basically the engine revs higher. Let me see if I can keep some space. And it gives gas in between, which is nice as well. Let's put it back in normal. Alright, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, like it, comment below, ask if you have any questions, head over to Auto-Bettschen, the link is provided below, we have all the information. Otherwise, I thank you, I wish you a great week, please subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye!
I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom. I'm like a bomb you can't defuse. Let me go and feel that boom, boom, boom.